Perfect. Hello. Let's take a moment, let people log in. Welcome back. What do we have? This is, Nicole, hi. Welcome back. Good to see you guys. Thanks for being here. Welcome back. We just had Thanksgiving, if you celebrate Thanksgiving, wherever you're joining in from. And yeah, we're welcome back. We've got a fun, I think a mind-blowing topic to talk about today that one of our people have requested and asked us to talk about. But let's pause on that for just a minute. How'd the week go? How was your Thanksgiving? Were you with people? Were you not with people? What did that feel like for you? Sometimes being with people can be very, very big, difficult, painful situation. And then sometimes people who aren't with people, it could feel big and difficult. And then sometimes they both can feel fine too. It just depends on you and what your heart was feeling. So how was that? Do you have any questions that have bubbled up from Thanksgiving week? I'll go first. So Thanksgiving, we camped for the week. So that was fabulous. I love camping and being outside and just stillness, like sound just travels and it's quiet. And I love that. But we go with all of our family as well. You know, that's the thing about grief recovery is I found my courage to say, this isn't working for me. I need to change. But I didn't say that before. I needed to do some grief recovery work and get some weight off my heart and really just be honest about what my truth and needs were. And so I actually changed to the family tradition for us. And then it just so happened people joined us. But I found Thanksgiving to be so stressful. You know, it's great to have time together and let the kids play together of the family, but it was so stressful that there was such this like pressure for whoever was cooking to provide and get this meal correct. And then the attitudes were high and energy was high and it was actually miserable. And I would go into it with like dragging my feet through the thickest mud, trying to find a way. Maybe I'll be sick. Like truly, I just didn't want to go. Because I don't like to be in that constant elephant filling the room, eggshells type of moment for who knows how many hours. It just didn't feel good. And so finally one year I said, I'm not doing this again. I'm going camping. I don't care what's happening. I'm going camping. And then it's become a thing where the family goes with us. So that was cool. That was good. My daughter was admitted into the hospital though, Thanksgiving morning for 2 days. She got home Friday night. So I was feeling sad and scared, but also my nursing brain knew what was going on. So the challenge is too, only one person can go in the hospital in COVID times. So husband went with her. He decided he wanted to go and I stayed back at camp with our other child. It wasn't easy. I found myself in a fog. I found myself just weighing through all of the different things. We were thinking appendicitis, so it was really acute and very painful for her. And even still, we're not entirely sure what's going on. She's on medication, but we're not out of the clear. So I'm still watchful and taking that in. Yeah. So how is that for you? You know, it just left me feeling, like I said, scared, not in control, but also my nursing brain knows to like hold back some of those emotions and fears and just stay focused on the moment. So the fear doesn't hit me usually until 2 days later or when it's done. So that's just how it goes for me. Since then, though, it's left me feeling nervous, scared on what it could be. And my mind is just still puzzling it out. So there's that. That was our Thanksgiving, but the camping part's still pretty good. Okay, so the topic we have today, and anything you have questions on or would like to share, please drop it down in the comments or shoot me a DM. That's perfectly fine as well. All right. So one of the people requests, thank you. I will take that big hug. Hugs. We don't do them enough, do we? I have a video on my YouTube and on my page about hugs. Hi, thanks for joining. Go check it out because hugs are really important. But there's oh my, what? said paused for poor connection. I should never have poor connection in this house, for Pete's sake. Okay, so today we're going to talk about a fabulous topic which can feel filthy and mean to some people. So stick with me because I think there's a twist. The topic of forgiveness, something that we kind of hate that word generally, right? Or it's tossed around in such a sloppily and haphazard way, and it can hurt people. People have a right to hurt. They have a right to feel. They have a right to say, ow, and I hate that. And I might even hate you for how you treated me. Okay, that's not wrong. Those are natural human reactions. What I want to talk about, though, is when we carry that painful energy, how does that feel? You know, it starts to affect our other relationships, our energy, our attention, our focus, our performance at work or at school or wherever we are, and our relationship, maybe a romantic one, starts to suffer if we don't truly understand this concept of forgiveness, and most people don't. Okay, go with me on a journey here. My nursing and military brain, this is how I explain it. Forgiveness. Now let's imagine that you're walking along and someone hurts you. You didn't ask for it. Maybe you did, but let's just assume you didn't ask for it. You were a kid. It came out of nowhere. Let's pretend that, okay? So you were totally hurt, and it's like this little bomb. You stepped on a little bomb, and the shrapnel flies out, and pieces of it. Oh, I have no idea why it's saying poor connection. That should never be happening. I apologize. But let's just say you're walking along and out of nowhere, you take a step and boom, a little bomb goes off and the shrapnel flies out and pieces of shrapnel lodge into your heart. Okay, so that little bomb is when someone hurts you. So you're walking along through your life and then boom, someone hurts you. Step on a bomb, little shrapnel goes out. Some of that lodges in your heart, and you keep going through life and you get hurt again by somebody else, somebody new, a totally different situation, your health, your job, your career, your friends, your church, it doesn't matter. You're hurt again, and it's like stepping on a little bomb. Shrapnel flies out, some of that lodges in your heart. And we go through life accumulating this loads and loads of shrapnel from all these different places. Now, imagine your heart full of shrapnel. It's going to hurt, right? And it's going to be heavy. What else might we be feeling? I imagine I would be feeling heavy and worn out and sometimes more tender than others. And so I might be a little edgy, a little spicy, just worn out, less willing to jump into a situation because I'm afraid of that stinking bomb. And I already know what that kind of thing feels like. And that's not going to feel good. I already got a heart full of it. Okay. So we are hurt. We're going through life carrying that shrapnel. Now, forgiveness, here's the thing, is about us. Forgiveness is a set of tools and actions that we take in the grief recovery method. And it's us who takes it, because who's carrying the shrapnel? Who's being affected by the effects of carrying that shrapnel? So we teach you exactly what to do and what to say inside the comfort of the class. We never are going to take forgiveness outside of the class. Because how many people have heard, oh, you got to forgive them. Oh, they didn't know better. Oh, it doesn't matter. You're still carrying the shrapnel. It doesn't matter if they meant to, they didn't mean to, they didn't know it was an accident, they didn't try. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it was a domino effect that landed on you. It doesn't matter. You're carrying the weight and pain of that. And so forgiveness, when we say, ow, we've been hurt, we know, oh, okay, this is going to take a forgiveness action because it's for me. Forgiveness is for me. Forgiveness has nothing to do with any other person, except for the fact that they lodged the shrapnel. But it's about the fact that I'm carrying the shrapnel, not how it lodged there. Okay. So we're going to say, ow, that hurt. And when I hear, ow, that hurt, I'm hurting. I'm going to know, oh, I got to reach into my bag of tricks and get a forgiveness tool. So let's pretend this is my forgiveness tool, a magnifying glass. Ow, I hurt. Grab my magnifying glass and turn it to my own heart so I can see where all the shrapnel has accumulated. And then I'm going to very surgically, not really, grief recovery method isn't surgery, but go with the analogy. I'm going to find the shrapnel and I'm going to remove it. Oh, there's another one? Let me grab my forgiveness tool. I'm going to look in my heart. I'm going to grab my precision tool like a surgeon, because I train you to be like a boss for your own heart. And then you're going to grab that shrapnel and pull it out one piece at a time. Forgiveness is a very precise action that we take for our own benefit, for our own power, for our own freedom from how we've been hurt by anybody, anything, a move, a job, it doesn't matter. We do accumulate hurt and it doesn't feel good. And guess what? The world said, you got to forgive that person over there. But they didn't tell us how. And there are a lot of people marching around, religious people, sorry, it does happen a lot in that community, where they're walking around saying, well, I forgive them, but they haven't done any action. So they don't respond to the text messages as quickly or the phone calls as quickly, or they don't do it, or they just put on their happy face and avoid that whole thing and just go through the motions as though nothing ever happened. That's not forgiveness, y'all. It's not an action. I'm sorry, it's not an act. It's not a surface thing. It's an action we're going to take to literally remove pain from our heart. Hi, Jones. So it's a step-by-step process that we do inside the class with a heart with ears. We never, ever, ever take it to the person. How many of you have heard people say, oh, I forgive you for that? What would you feel like if I called you and said, I just want you to know I forgive you? Really feel that? Does it feel like, well, thanks, you arrogant fool. I didn't ask for it. I didn't ask for it. What are you talking about? I didn't know that I hurt you. So it can really cause a problem. We never give it to the other person because it's not about them. Forgiveness is 100% a tool that we use for ourselves for the pain that we're carrying. And in grief recovery method, it's the step-by-step precise action of how to do it. It never requires the other person because, I don't know, maybe they've died. I mean, I came to this method because my father died by suicide. So you know what that means? He's not going to do something different. So forgiveness is a tool for us. It has nothing to do with the other person. It's not minimizing what they did. It's not condoning it and saying it's not a big deal. It's not, trying to make that okay. No, that was bad. That was bad. Whatever happened was bad. It hurt you. Okay. But you're the one hurting. So you're the one who's going to have to take action. If you fell off your bike and broke your arm, it doesn't matter if I pushed you or tripped or I fell in front of you on accident, so you ended up falling. You're the one with the broken arm. Who's going to the hospital because they have a broken arm? You are. You're going to go through surgery and treatment and recovery and healing and all of those things. You've got to watch your nutrition and you've got to do all these things so your bone heals correctly, right? Forgiveness is the same thing. But we have been taught that it's about them, that we're minimizing what they did or softening it in some way or making it okay or condoning even. We're not condoning. Are you kidding? That's terrible. So I want you to go back. For those of you, hello, who are just joining, thank you for joining. Thank you for being here. But I want you to go back and listen to this one when I post it. And I'll post a link to the YouTube page as well, where you can find this because this is life-changing stuff. This is something so different than what we have ever been taught. It's clearly a problem because when we see people walking around with a bunch of hurt in their heart, we can't expect every other people to completely change and bend and shape themselves in ways that are going to please us. We can't. We have to learn how to find it on our own. And that's what forgiveness is. It is the precise tool that the grief recovery method teaches. Again, evidence-based. This isn't the Rachelle method. This is the grief recovery method, by founder John James 44 years ago. He's, I don't know, magic. I don't know how he figured this out. He figured it out of his own hurting heart, and it just happened to work. And then he was able to create a whole class and institute that's the only evidence-based one on planet Earth. It works so well. So why wouldn't you want to pick it up? Now, let's pause. What are you thinking about? Think about those times that hurt you. Who was it? You don't have to tell me. You never have to tell me the details. Did you know that? The details, the facts of who did what, when, and what they said, and how they did it, that's all mind noise. What they would have been thinking or going through, let's be honest, we weren't in their head or in their situation. We couldn't know anyway. But what they were thinking and going through, and let's think of it from their perspective. And well, let's think about what they grew up with. And Come on, who gives a flying frog's fat ass? We don't care because it's not about them. It's about us. We're the one hurting. And so we've got to learn what to do to feel better. And that's what the grief recovery method is a master at. Questions, thoughts, wonders, put them in the comments, check out or send me something in the DMs, or check the link in the bio, because this video will be on YouTube soon and I want you to study it. And when you want to know what that step-by-step and how is, that's where a grief recovery method class comes in. There are 2-day formats. A few people in the world teach those. I'm one of those, but I don't have any scheduled, to be honest. There are 8-week formats where we meet once a week for 90 minutes. That's why it's spread out over 8 weeks. Most people teach that, and a good old handful do it online. And there are 4-day certification classes. Maybe you'd like to be certified in this method that works, so you can help people too, in addition to yourself. I love you. Thank you for joining today. Put your questions in the comments. Anything that you want to type out before I go for it. But I want you to start to really think about what's different about what you learned today in terms of forgiveness. This one was difficult for me to wrap my mind around, which is why I don't usually talk about it except for inside of a class, because it can be difficult to wrap our mind around without have learned all the other things in a class as well. And so this tool of forgiveness I use, sorry, Jones, with my husband, if he hurts my feelings or we just have a disagreement, times where my kids, they say or do things that hurt my feelings, or their life isn't going quite the way I thought or wished it would have. Friends, God, health. I mean, I just use this tool all the time. It's powerful. So I think, and that was a request. So send your requests if you have topics that you'd like to learn about or talk about, because I would love to go there with you. I love being human with you. I love talking grief recovery method, and I hope to see you in my class or someone else's soon. Let me know about your experience. Love you all. Bye-bye.